Hey, my name is Ella, and I was on Team Ontario for 4 years. During that time, I also competed for Canada in the 2018 and 2019 Olympic Hopes Regattas and the 2019 and 2021 Junior Worlds. I guess my hard work kind of paid off, and I was able to bring home some hardware from some of those events. And I also placed fourth at the 2021 Olympic Team Trials. However, I stopped paddling in January of 2022 for reasons we can touch on later in this video, and I'm now partway through a degree in neuroscience through Dalhousie University and working for the BC Wildfire Service in the summers. Rewinding a little bit though, I started paddling through the Rideau Canoe Club in the U13 program. I loved it, and C1 block was always my favorite because I was delegated to the stay by the dock group because I was just basically fell out every 3 seconds and got to spend 90% of the time in the water, and I thought that was really fun. So kind of just kept going with C1, and eventually my hard work started to show results, and it was pretty fun. And I definitely had a bit of a journey through paddling, and so I'm hoping I can discuss a little bit about what it's like to be a member of the LGBTQ community in this sport in this video. Oh gosh, this is a big question. So in a lot of ways, I'm really lucky. I have some awesome friends and family and coaches who have always been super supportive and accepting. But that's not to say that growing into my sexuality in high-level sport was easy. I first had a girlfriend when I was 15, and she overheard a room full of girls at a training camp and basically saying that we were causing problems by just being together, and that they were all saying that they were just weirded out by the whole thing. And so this kind of thing is pretty difficult to hear as a young kid who's just coming to terms with their identity. The fact that just your existence is a problem is not something that no 15-year-old should feel like that, I don't think. I also didn't really get to come out on my own terms. As you know, things get spread pretty quickly around canoe clubs. And so that was a little bit difficult too for people to know something about you that you haven't really fully accepted within yourself. And then later on, in my later years in the sport, when I was 17, I guess, some pretty messed up things happened related to me being in the LGBTQ community, and that actually contributed to my leaving the sport, as that amplified pre-existing anxiety issues. And it was just not really worth it for me to continue training anymore, as it's one thing to dedicate your life to a sport when you're able to enjoy it, but the reality was that I was just no longer enjoying it, unfortunately. So I put my energy into other areas of life, and that's been working out pretty well so far. I mean, who knows? I'm still definitely open to getting back to training if I think that that's what's best for me and what's going to make me the happiest. But yeah, where I'm at right now is just putting energy into other areas. What would I say to 16-year-old Ella? I think the biggest thing I would want to say to her is that it's enough to just be Ella. I'm not trying to sound like one of those like just be yourself, like whatever, but I think I spent a lot of time kind of imitating whatever the cool girls were doing and striving for that perfect image in all areas. So the first place finishes, all the new Lulu, the perfect boyfriend, like I thought that I needed to have it all. And so taking a step outside of that binary and accepting my own queer identity seemed impossible. I mean, clearly it wasn't. I did eventually get there thanks to the support of my friends and family and coaches, but definitely just like something I would want to enforce, not just to 16-year-old Ella, but to any young athlete who identifies as queer, is that it's okay. It's you don't need to be the same as everybody else. And as much as that's probably been beaten into everybody and everyone's heard it before, I think it's pretty important to just keep saying that it's okay to identify however you want to identify, and the world's not going to collapse if you don't fit into this perfect mold that people might expect you to. I think the other biggest thing is just that you're not alone, that even if the queer community in canoe kayak may not be the most visible, we are out here. And I think that we need to support each other to get through the tougher times. And so my DMs are always open to anyone who is maybe like struggling with their identity, especially in sport. And feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to hear from you.